Well, the bear show was a couple of days ago, and I had to come up to Grand Rapids to haul this trailer home. It's full of stuff that we need for the bear show, and I just thought I would bring you up to speed on some things about the show and how it went. There's some really good positive things. There's a kind of one bad thing, and I guess there's an apology also that I need to get to. But let's start with the good things, okay? First of all, the show was a lot bigger than last year. We had about twice as many people come to the show. We also had about twice as many vendors. So that's really positive. It's exciting to see the growth. And as you know, this is a business, and businesses have to make money to survive. And if we're going to have a bear show, the owner of the bear show, me, has got to turn a profit. Unfortunately, I'm in the black right now, and it looks like I'm never going to try to figure out how much I made per hour, but it actually turned a profit, and that's a good thing. You know, I feel like it's worth continuing, and we're going to be, looking at the different options as far as venues and dates and stuff like that, and hopefully have an announcement here within the next, I suppose, 60 days or something for the 2027 show. And I'm really encouraged. I had a lot of vendors come up to me and say, can I get the same booth next year? So the vendors are happy, the outfitters booked some hunts, and overall, yeah, it was really positive. So, I'm definitely gonna do it again, and I'm kind of leaning towards doing it here again at this venue. It was really nice to have all the vendors in one place, and also to have an air-conditioned venue, which was a big deal after 2025 was rough for both the attendees and the vendors. So that's something that we got to seriously look at. Is the venue is really important. There's free parking here. It's easy to get to, and it's a good spot. It's a really good spot. So, my business plan from the beginning, I started thinking about this several years ago. And I go to sports shows, and there's deer classics and there are all this other stuff. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if bear hunters had a show for themselves? And after a couple of years of thinking about it, I just thought, what, if nobody else is going to do it, I'm going to do it. I've worked a lot of shows. I've done seminars. I've had booths and shows for 40 years. I've never run a show, but I'm going to try it. And so that's what we did. We just decided to do it ourselves, my wife and I. And she's been a huge help to me. Really fortunate I got a Boone and Crockett wife that just, I couldn't do it without her. And then I got he's my number one right-hand man, Jake Bergeron, who has been a huge part of our success, super valuable to this show. And like I said, then he's another guy I really couldn't do it without. We had a lot of good volunteers and everything like that. So overall, pretty positive about the show, and I'm looking forward to watching it grow as it goes forward. So there's an issue here that I have to address, and I'm at the age where I don't like conflict and I don't like drama, but I feel I owe you guys an explanation. So there's a lot of people that showed up here to get bait, and we didn't have bait. And the business plan from the beginning was to have a place where everybody could come and get their supplies, get their sprays, talk to a taxidermist, talk to people that process bears, maybe talk to an outfitter and book a hunt or a Canadian hunt, get their bait and all the equipment that they need. And that's why we have it this time of the year. It's 2 to 3 weeks before the baiting season opens in Minnesota. It's a couple weeks before Michigan and Wisconsin. And it's just a good time of the year when everybody's thinking about bear hunting, and I wanted it to be a situation where people could come and they'd, sit around a campfire, get to know other bear hunters, maybe camp if they want to, and get all their supplies. And so, getting the bait here is a cornerstone of what is going to make this successful, and unfortunately that didn't happen this year. And we had a sponsor who committed to bringing 2 semi-loads of bait to us and a forklift, and then unfortunately just let us down and didn't bring any bait hardly at all. And I just really don't want to make a big deal out of this, but when I looked out in the parking lot and I saw people with trailers and pickups that came to get bait, and people were asking, where's the bait? I feel like I owe you an explanation, and I really let you down by not having the bait here. And unfortunately, this vendor also committed to doing a couple of seminars, and he asked me if he could do some seminars, and I haven't. I've been really loyal to him. In fact, I did a video a couple of weeks ago about how I was loyal to him, and because he's a sponsor and everything, he doesn't have any experience doing seminars, but he wanted to, so I put him down for a couple of seminars, and he didn't show up for the seminars either. He also was going to give me a certificate for a barrel of bait for the raffle. He didn't do that either, and so it was just really disappointing when he didn't show up for his seminar on Saturday morning. I was scrambling around trying to find someone to cover my responsibility so I could fill in for his seminar. I just feel really betrayed. I feel like he just threw us under the bus. And he texted me, and I think this is probably the most unfortunate part, and he texted me when he said he wasn't going to be able to come to bring the bait up, and he basically said, my business comes first, and I think I can make more money by staying here at the shop, that's why he went back on his word, so he could make more money. So I apologize for that. I want to make a commitment to you that next year we're going to have bait. I'm working on other options right now, so we'll make sure that we have bait here for you. Obviously, this particular vendor won't be allowed to participate anymore after what happened this year, but we're going to get some bait here for you next year. The show is going to continue to grow, and I just want to thank you for coming if you came, and if you didn't, hopefully we'll see you next year. The Bear Show is going to go on, and it's going to get bigger and better than ever, and I'm really glad to have you a part of it.